This is northern Italy.
This is big.
And small travel.
We are in Milan again, the city of fashion. We visit again for the Last Supper.
And for other Leonardo da Vinci attractions.
Our first time in Milan, we saw its main attractions, which you can see in another video.
This time, we look at another side of Milan. From its masterpieces and classic architecture to more innovative design.
We are in northern Italy.
Milan is the second largest city in Italy and its financial hub.
This is big.
And small travel.
We are in Milan.
In Italy.
Again, the city of fashion, the city of design, the economic engine of Italy. We're not here for that though. We're here for other reasons.
We are actually not here to shop. We are here to see, for one, some of what Leonardo da Vinci offered to Milan, like
the Last Supper, widely discussed as well.
We're also going to see a museum dedicated to da Vinci. So we're going to see a little old Milan, but also new Milan, including something called the Bosco Verticale.
Roman ruins and so much more. Keep watching. Milan's Grand Central Station, featuring an Art Nouveau style, finalized by Italy's well-known leader from the 1930s. Train travel in Italy is comfortable. Milan is quite accessible. Using high-speed trains, you can get there easily from Florence, Venice, Rome, Bologna, and multiple cities.
From Milano Centrale, we head into the fashion district.
Milan is packed.
There's someone up there.
What? Some sort of Italian celebrity around?
I don't know.
What is going
We are
on?
also. I think there must be somebody up there.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're like, are they waiting for us? Is it?
Time for coffee. Let's go.
If you want a quick espresso, always have it at the bar. It's just typically 120 or so euros.
We're getting espresso
And macchiato.
Grazie. Gonna have you get it. Hopped on the Milan Metro, which is the largest metro system in Italy. This is where the Last Supper is. This is Santa Maria della Grazia here in Milan, built in 1465.
Leonardo da Vinci was the ultimate Renaissance man. A native Tuscan, da Vinci spent over 2 decades in Milan, and his innovative ideas can be seen at the Navili canals and in his iconic version of the Last Supper.
Da Vinci's masterpiece was built in the middle part of his life, early 40s. It was created between 1492 and 1495. We're very excited to see this. We have to line up though. Getting here and getting this process done is a little bit tricky. We'll give you some details.
So you can get tickets in advance online, and they only have it up to 6 weeks in advance. And if you go on the website and you see everything booked up, don't worry about it. You have to keep going back to that website because spots do open up, and they only give you 15 minutes inside, but you have to come about a half an hour early to pick up your ticket. So it's quite a process, and that's it. So there are a lot of Last Supper paintings, especially throughout Italy. So why is Da Vinci's so iconic? Well, one thing you'll notice right away is the movement of the paintings. Da Vinci would actually observe a lot and sketch like men talking on a bench and really look at gestures and expressions and movement, and that was what he put into his painting, something that no other artist was doing at the time.
Yeah, to go off, what Da Vinci called the motions of the soul are really nice. What I noticed and I was very impressed with, I didn't realize it'd be so impressive, is the flow of the hands, all going towards Jesus in the central parts of this painting. So the flow of this painting just seems so natural. And again, it really illustrates the motions of the soul that Da Vinci was trying to go for.
Another thing about Da Vinci's painting is most of the other Last Suppers had halos over all of the apostles' heads, and Jesus, of course. He decided not to include halos. And so you can see how he used light and darkness. And actually there's some light above Jesus that kind of represents a halo. And Judas is actually the darkest of them all. So he's the most in the shadows.
Of course, admire all the luxury brands, but there are beautiful buildings here in Milan. Historic, and of course, look at this. It's like you're on a movie set.
District here lies between the ancient Roman walls and the medieval walls.
We're hungry and ready to eat. Found some Tuscan food, a menu consisting of salami, different types of prosciutto, cheeses. This is Brera.
And now it has the Brera Art Museum.
This is the Brera. We don't have time to see it. There are some religious masterpieces in here by Caravaggio. We have been here before, first time we're in Milan, but just wander the courtyard.
Better than the model pizza. And free.
We are in Milan, continuing from the architecture. Many people just come and see the Duomo of Milan, which we did the first time. It was awesome. This is the Bosco Verticale, literally the treehouse in English. That's the Italian name.
So these two towers can actually accommodate over 700 trees, and the reason for this is to combat air and noise pollution, but it also helps the residents themselves with very high temperatures and very low temperatures. The trick is keeping these trees free of disease. Want to live here? This is the Science and Technology Museum of Leonardo da Vinci. I think this is a pretty big museum. It's actually housed in a former monastery.
This is a really cool museum. Very big.
Yeah, he is related to Renaissance works, paintings, art, engineering, the gift of flight. Construction works in Milan, like canals, so many things. The expansive effort there was just nothing was a challenge and nothing was an obstacle. You can't think of many minds like that.
And it really drives the point home of art and science combined, and how nowadays we kind of see them as two sides of the spectrum. Da Vinci's mind put it all together, and it's very fascinating.
Very well said. I couldn't have put it better. The immensity of this site really is impressive. You get it all. Da Vinci, you get stuff on space, submarines over here, planes, industrial beginnings and origins, nutrition, pharmaceutical science. It's very large.
Ooh, it's overwhelming. This is only 10 euros. You want to spend at least a couple hours here. It's essentially saying this furnace is the first in the world, and then it keeps going, and I can't translate from there. Something electric, but it's from Italy.
Things for steel, gas, all these things. After Germany, Italy is the second largest manufacturing economy in Europe.
We're looking for aperitivo.
Oh my God.
One thing to do in Milan is get aperitivo. So it typically means you get a drink. I like red wine. Big loves the Campari spritz. And then it comes with sometimes more like buffet style.
This is the bitter Campari spritz.
Well, it's different from Aperol spritz. So this is a bit more bitter. But sometimes it'll be more buffet style and you can go up and get whatever you want. This one just came as a whole platter. And we're ready to dig in.
In Milan in the 1st century AD, there was a Roman amphitheater in the area where we're staying, with gladiators and everything, just like you'd imagine, and just like there was in Rome. Milan's history was very much shaped by the Romanization and eventual, really, establishing of what is Milan today.
This site was once the location of a very lavish Roman residence. And then there was a church that was built upon the remains in the 5th and 6th century around then. And then over time it's been built into very different things, mostly churches. And now we just have
like a brick facade. And take a look at the area here. Yeah, it's kind of immense.
Right in the middle of the city.
Dating from the 2nd century, the colonnade of San Lorenzo by the oldest church in Milan. You have Roman columns, the meeting place of Milan in the heart of the city. Milan's a great city to walk around, get lost in. We hit the fashion district.
We are in Piazza Meda, and this is kind of in the fashion district. So if you're in the fashion district, you want to see all the fancy and luxurious shops. I don't know, Vegas looking to furnish a home that we don't have. This is an only in Milan type thing, a park from Armani.
The Duomo of Milan is the largest Gothic church in the world. There are 3,400 statues in the Duomo.
Duomo di Milano. Come here to one of the oldest shopping centers in the world. This is Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, named after the first king of Italy. From fashion to bones.
The San Bernardino Bone Church dates from the 1200s. When there was not enough space to bury the deceased, the decorations were bones.
This church is on the site of a graveyard, actually, and so part of it, if you go to the right, you'll see all the skulls and bones that make up that part of the church.
In 1728, a king of Portugal was so impressed he decided to have an identical sanctuary near Lisbon in Portugal.
Pretty fascinating. And it's not too far from the Duomo, and you get away from the crowds. It's a cool thing to see.
If you remember the video of us in Paris, the Arc de Triomphe is located in quite a chaotic place in Paris. Very busy roundabout. This very similar looking building, the Arch of Victory, which is now the Arch of Peace, is in a very peaceful area. But during this time in Italy's history, there was a lot of wars going on. France, Austrians. Basically, it ended up being something good for the city, even though it was not meant to originally.
So this is in neoclassical, and it was meant to be the end of Strada Sempione, which was a street connecting Paris to Milan under Napoleon's rule. Of course, that didn't happen under his rule, but this would have been his victory arch.
Thanks for watching. Please check out our first video in Milan where we go over some of the main attractions.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Please leave a comment if you've been in Milan. Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.